I feel like there's this almost shame when it comes to not being productive. Like, if you're not being productive, you're not doing enough.
We've only got one chance. We've got one life, right? And it's not always about the end goal. It's about the journey along the way.
But I realized that those other things don't actually matter because it's building the relationships and enjoying my time. You're listening to the Apology Void podcast.
And today, I'm really excited about today because this podcast, I feel like this episode is designed for me because I want to listen to this.
Good.
We're going to be talking about having fun, like introducing fun things, activities, whatever it is, into your daily routine.
I think that's really important. I think it's something that we forget about on a very regular basis, especially play. Like, we're encouraged to play as kids, but then we forget to continue playing as adults, and like how important that is to our overall happiness and well-being and honestly balance for those of us who might be a little more like go get 'em goal driven, everything we're going to do the things. So, why is this important to you, Sal? Like, where's this what's going on?
Well, something I've been thinking about in the last week, well, maybe a couple of weeks actually, just being like, I'll catch myself saying, oh, I want to do something. So I got this new board game for my birthday. This is how this kind of came up a little while ago. And I want to play it. I want to keep playing it, but I'm like, oh, no, I can't do it today. I don't have time. Or like I'll catch myself going, oh, I want to, go in my garden and do something. Oh, I can't. I don't have time today. And I understand, we've spoken about making things priorities and doing, sometimes there is a bit of unbalance in your life. I completely understand all that. But I feel like it's just ongoing and going and going. And I'm like, okay, surely I have time. Surely I can make time to play a board game for 30 minutes. Like, that's not going to make or break anything that I'm doing. And I just was like, I've got to make the time.
You do have to make the time. It's healthy. I feel like there's this almost shame when it comes to not being productive. Like, if you're not being productive, you're not doing enough. So if you're having fun, you're not being productive. And then if there are things on your list that need to be done, should be done. I'm putting all this in air quotes. Like, why aren't you doing those things? And why are you taking the time to do something frivolous? And I think there's some larger, like, cultural context maybe surrounding that, but giving ourselves the permission to just actually enjoy life, because life is short and we should enjoy it, I think is so important. And so, like, yeah, Sal, play the board game.
So I feel like I need to listen to us talk about this because I feel like it's also easier said than done, because I'm like, yeah, I'm absolutely going to do it. I'm doing it tomorrow. Like, anything that I'm just going to tick off my, I'm air quoting, shoulds or whatever. So we have tasks that we need to get done. Great. I can tick all those off. But then I go, oh, that's not enough. I need to do more. So I'll start doing more things. Whereas I can just be like, no, like, that's my work for today. Yay, tick. Now I can go play the game. But I'm finding it a challenge. So, right. And I think that's why this has come up. It's fine. I'm finding it a challenge to step out of that. Oh, don't have time. And I understand that means that it's not a priority. Absolutely. But you nailed it. It's like we only got one chance. We've got one life, right? And it's not always about the end goal. It's about the journey along the way, because every day makes up our whole life, right? So if we're just like in that constant turnover every single day, that then becomes your whole life.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I'm saying this knowing that I need to do this. It's hilarious. I'm like talking about it and it's coming out of my mouth. So I understand the concept, but it's like, Sally, get it together.
Well, where do you think that comes from? Like, the not prioritizing fun or play? Like, where do you think that difficulty for you comes from?
I think it's just I have always been the person that once I have something in my mind, my blinders go on. My walls go up, my blinders go on, and I'm in, right? So, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because I do believe that helps achieve goals that you set out. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's just falling back into old habits. Because for a long time I was quite good at going, okay, walls down, even with things like expressing things, making time for fun, like, or even health stuff like gym and walking and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't feel guilt about that. I was like, yay, it's a good time, whatever. And I think it's just creeping back. I think it's just habit because historically that's what I have done when I've had a goal or even going to uni, like to achieve a degree or something. I'm like, okay, head down, time to go,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's just I think it's just habitual.
Yeah. Well, I think you're like, from what I know of you, a high achieving go getter, which is like, again, when they have something on their mind, when they want to do something, they're going to do it. So, as you said, it's like that blinders on, nothing else exists. This is what we're doing. And I very much used to be that way, like very much, to my own detriment, missed out on a lot of things because I was
Mm.
always so focused on the goal or the task or the things that, like, quote, needed to be done. Even things like gardening became almost like a chore for me because they were the things that then needed to get done, not that I wanted to do. And COVID really changed some of that. When you couldn't go all of the places and couldn't run all of the errands, and maybe you had like a small pot of people that you spent time with. And those people that were in my pod were much better about taking downtime. And let me tell you, I about lost my ever loving mind at first when they would just like want to watch a TV show or play a game. And I'd be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we not doing the things? Like, it took me actual practice to slow down and get out of the "this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done" kind of mindset of the perpetual motion, always in motion, cannot stop, stay in motion all the time. Um, and I think it took a lot of other people in my life kind of showing me what more balance can look like, or even through their own unbalanced lives, showing me some of what, you know,
Mm.
giving ourselves time to do the things and slow down and enjoy. So
Mm.
it's hard.
'Cause I feel like that's something that I think you're probably pretty good at nowadays. Like, you definitely have a well, from what it seems like to me. I know sometimes you are out of balance. I get that. There are days when there is a lot happening. I get it. But I feel like you're probably a good person to speak on this rather than me. Here's me wanting to do it and be like, "Yay, go do it." But do you still work on it? Like, is that something you still work on?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I am, like, aggressively shaking my head for those people who cannot see it, like, bouncing my head up and down. Oh, yeah, we work on this all of the
Yeah.
time. Like, it's a
Yeah, right.
regular thing still. Um, I am, I guess, grateful to have a very fun-based partner who likes to do all of the fun things. So, like, on his day off, he'll be like, "Let's play a board game." On his day off, he'll be like, "Let's go get dinner with friends. Let's build a Lego set. Let's do this thing. I wanna go do disc golf." And I'm like, "You make time." So, like, he prioritizes having fun and enjoying things, and for me, that was so foreign that it still takes
Mm.
me sometimes a little bit to process and say, "Okay, the dishes can actually wait. The laundry can actually wait. Nothing is gonna go wrong if I sit for an hour and play a board game." And then I end up enjoying myself. It refuels me so that then I have even more energy to do the other things. or it doesn't, like, motivate me to do the other things, but I realize that those other things don't actually matter because it's building the relationships and enjoying my time. So, yeah, we work
Mm.
on it all the time. It is quite the stark contrast between me and my partner, and finding a balance in those things has been a hoot. I feel like we balance each other nicely there.
That's good though. Like, I think, having that person being like, "Yes, let's do this," probably helps heaps, right? So,
Yes.
yeah. And at the moment, Nick and I are both pretty goal set. So I think we're both in that spiral and neither of us like, "Let's do that thing, let's do that thing."
Yeah.
So it just becomes like a bit of a perpetual, again, bit of a cycle, hard to
Yep.
break. And I think that you said something just then that is really important, and we have touched on this before, that when you do fun things or engaging in what you find does fill your cup, that then makes it easier to achieve things. But we forget that.
Yeah.
We forget that by playing a board game, going to the gym, going for a walk, making a jigsaw puzzle, baking some cookies, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. I'm using board game because I love to play board games and make puzzles and stuff. But that then fills my cup. I feel energized, less risk of burnout because let me tell you, burnout's not very fun. I've had that. And we are at risk of doing or getting burnout if we keep doing those same things over and over. So fill our cup, make sure we're doing things that fuel I'll say soul, fuel our soul, fuel our mind, fuel our soul, make us happy. And then we can achieve things so much easier.
Yeah.
Saying this, listen to yourself, Sally. Take your own advice.
Sally,
This
you
is
know
what I
what to
need.
do. I was actually, I was listening to a book yesterday that's about changing habits, and it gives you a mantra every day for 30 days. And the mantra yesterday was something along the lines of, deep down, I know how to do this. Deep down, I know how to do this. And it's one of the things, like, I used to be a terrible sleeper. I used to have so much anxiety around sleep and rest. I never gave myself the chance to rest because I felt like I had to, again, be in perpetual motion and constantly doing something. And if I wasn't doing something, then the anxiety creeped in to say, what are you missing? What aren't you doing? So learning to just sit in stillness and turn my phone off and put the to-do list aside was an actual practice I had to do. Per my therapist, um, they helped a lot with that journey. They're like, "Do you ever
Don't
just,
all
like,
blame you.
do nothing? Do you ever just do nothing?" And I'm like, "What does that mean? What are you doing when you do nothing?" And they're like, "No, like, nothing. Like,
What?
you don't
How
have
do you do
plans."
that? How do you do
Exactly.
nothing?
Exactly, and I was like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "Where you have no plans, you don't have a thing that you have to do, where you don't have anything
Oh.
you're supposed to do, and you just let yourself exist in whatever feels right." And I was like, "I don't understand." So, I mean, that really encouraged me, though, to find hobbies and rest and learn how to follow what my body needs. Like, if I need to stop moving for a little bit and just lay and play a game, I know that that's going to help me refuel in order to come back to things. Because when we get to the point of burnout or exhaustion because we just keep pushing ourselves, that's not healthy. So sometimes, like, stepping away and literally just changing your brain space to something else, maybe more creative or play based, can create that sense of release and balance and the opportunity to look at things from a different perspective. So, thank you
Mm.
to my former therapist for pushing me into my uncomfortable zones of do nothing.
Yeah, look, that's stressful for me, I won't lie.
Yes.
Doing nothing. Okay, so I could probably th let's baby steps here. So I could probably go play a board game and the world won't end. But to sit there and do nothing? That's stress. Which is
Yep,
ridiculous. That's the opposite of what it's supposed to do.
correct.
I actually don't know the last time that I felt bored. I don't know the feeling of bored.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm really bored." I'm like, "How?" Not with no disdain, with no like, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I want to feel bored. Like, how do you
Like,
do that?
genuinely don't understand that. Yeah.
Genuinely don't understand, but I kinda want to understand.
I understand the want to understand, Sal. I get it. I wanna know what it's like to be bored.
Just I don't know, I just laugh at myself anyway. Yeah, so I like need to you're a former therapist, I think.
He was great for that, not great for other things.
Oh, this
Just
is
gonna
the
put
not
it
great
out there,
one.
but
Yeah.
if you want their number for that specific thing, I will 100% recommend. So,
Look, I think, I'm just happy to listen to the relayed information, which in
perfect.
essence is do nothing.
Like, just give yourself the actual challenge to do nothing for a minute.
Well, actually, the other night I had to come home, on anyway, long story short, you don't need the backstory, but I had to come home on the train. And from where I was, it was about an hour. And Nick had to pick me up from the station because the station's actually still reasonably far from my house because, we live in the middle of nowhere. But I had to call him when I was there because it's not an overly safe station where I have the closest one. Anyway, whatever. My phone had 7%. I was like, 7%? What? And I was like, I'm not going to be able to ring him. So I rang him and I told him the arrival time. I was like, okay, look, my phone's probably going to go to flat. Just be there at this time. Whatever happens, just wait out the front and I'll be there. That was all fine. I was like, so I can't play on my phone because it's flat and I didn't want it to go flat just in case. Can't play on my computer because I could have, but I don't have anything on my computer. I use the internet for everything. So I needed my hotspot. So I just had to sit on the train. So I guess I kind of did nothing for that hour because I was just sitting there. I should have meditated or something. Like at
I was
least,
gonna say, how was that hour, Sal?
I mean, it went pretty fast. I was thinking about a lot of stuff. Like I was thinking about what I had to do and when I got home because I had a few things to get done. So I was
Yeah,
definitely like ticking over things in my mind. But I guess that was doing nothing. And the world didn't end in that hour. So if I use that hour to do something what I classify as fun, it's going to
yeah.
be the same result, right?
Correct.
How
Correct.
how crazy is it that I'm like, I want to talk about this topic because I need it. So I'm literally recording the podcast so I can listen back and
Sal is,
make
like, processing all of this information for herself right now.
in real time. I'm like creating the episode for myself and I'll listen back and get the benefits.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I honestly think a piece of it is almost like mindfulness, being mindful of what you are actually feeling and needing and bringing yourself to that present.
Mm.
So, going for walks is a habit that I have started, and it's one that I started because I know that it's good for my body and it's good for my mental health. Like, even if it's cold outside, it is good for my mental health to get outside and just move. Because sometimes my body needs to catch up with my brain, and my brain is moving too fast, and we need to slow them all down together. But if I feel myself getting distracted by things like technology, which is not how I want to spend that time, I don't want to spend it in like a mindless scroll. I'll do a mindfulness activity like finding all of the plum colored objects that I can along my walk and making it more fun and gamified for myself so then I'm present and actually using that time. But I think it's really about being mindful about it. The other piece for me is I realized the other day my house is like a hobby house. All of our hobbies are accessible for the most part or on display. So we have all of our hobbies. I have a piano behind me. I have fidgets behind me. I have a guitar on my wall. Like, my hobbies are accessible. The books that I'm reading are accessible, and I give myself the time for that. We have Legos on display. We have a whole room of board games. We have board games that are propping up my computer right now. So, like, I feel like we've just made it like a highlight of our home so that we incorporate those things more often, if that makes sense. Make it
No,
accessible so that
100%.
my brain
And
thinks
that's
about it.
oh, totally. It's like that saying out of sight, out of mind, right? So when everything's packed away, and say if you did have a moment to do nothing, like if you're like, oh, what am I going to do? If your hobbies and things are packed away out of sight, out of mind, you're probably going to be in the doom scroll. You're probably going to
Correct.
throw on TV. And don't get me wrong, I love Netflix. Like, I love a bit of TV. I often have a show. I've got my comfort shows. I think we spoke about this before. My comfort shows playing in the background, like while I'm working, because I don't need to watch those shows, right? Like, because I've
Right.
seen them on repeat about 1,000
Yeah.
times. So I don't watch them actively, but they're just on. So I love a good Netflix, no judgment. If you want to do other things like board games, puzzles, if they're in your cupboard, you're probably not going to go and make the effort to go and
Right.
get them out.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I'm saying that for me too, because I know like mine are all packed away in an organizational little box because I can't help myself. And then that's another thing I go, oh, I need to organize all of my cupboards. That's so important other than playing the game.
I
No, it
mean,
isn't.
sometimes that is a game in itself, and it provides a lot of satisfaction.
For me,
So,
100%.
no shame. No
Like
shame in
we
that game.
yeah, no, this is a bit off topic, but we have anyway, someone's coming to the house today to do some work or something. Anyway, long story. And I was like, "Oh, I've just got to quickly clean the showers last night." And Nick was like, "They're not having a shower." And I was like, "Yeah, but I just want to like, just give them a wipe over. They're not even dirty. They're not, like I scrubbed them recently. They're not even dirty. I'm like, I was going to give them a wipe over. So I'm just filling my time with like shit that's actually not even important,
Yeah.
but it's creating busyness. And I think it's a result of actually I know because I've done this before. I know it's a result of because I'm in this blinder space, because I'm like da 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 da, I was gonna say guns going. No, no, we're not talking that. Blinders on. I'm saying guns blazing. Like all systems go. It just stops you from I've lost my train of thought. Because of the guns blazing.
Squirrels. So many squirrels.
No, I haven't lost my train of thought. It's like when you're in that space, you just create. It creates more. So
Yeah.
chaos creates chaos, I guess. So there's no time to stop, take a breath, think about what's important because you're just creating more and more things in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. You strike me as someone who might have a to-do list that's organized.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Have you ever thought about creating a list of things you enjoy doing?
No.
Okay, so this is another thing that I did at one point was there were 2 separate things. One was just brain dumping all of the things that I actually love and that I enjoy, and, like, writing them all out in one space and seeing them all. I might have been in a really dark space at that point, and I needed to just remind myself of what was good in the world and life,
Whatever
but
works.
whatever works. But it was a really good opportunity for me to also, like, assess my hobbies and things I enjoy doing and what fuels me, and then I made a list of things I can do in my downtime so that I'm not perpetually just trying to make progress all the time and improve myself. Like, I started reading fiction for the first time this year for fun.
Mm.
This is the first year that I've ever done that in my life for fun. There's a whole other reason behind that. That's fine. We don't have to get into the
Deep,
deep
deep.
why reading was
Well, I just
hard as a
picked back up
child.
a fiction book.
Good.
Yeah, because I was similar to you, but it was quite a few years ago that I started. So I didn't read books when I was a kid at all, as in books that I had to read for school and shit. But I didn't read fiction.
Yeah.
Anyway, then I went through a period of like 3 to 4 years where I read every single night fiction books. Went through heaps. I loved it. Then some more goals came in. Fiction books went out the window, and they've been out the window for maybe like 10 years or so or more. And I was like, no, I actually love fiction books. What am I doing? Get it together. So it's taken me ages. I'm not reading it very fast, to be fair. I'm only up to like chapter 12 and it's been going for like a month. It's like not even long. I could have read this in like one day, but it doesn't matter because I'm like, okay. And there'll be like, I haven't read it for about a week now. I think it's been a week period, but I'm like, that just reminded me, like, oh yeah, that book. Because that just reminded me when you said it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I can read that book, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. That's amazing. That's great. Read the
Now I'm
book,
going to have to
Sal.
create a list of things that I love.
Well,
What have you
it
done? It'll help.
I spoke on a topic I'm passionate about. That's what I did, Sal. No, but it's true. Like, it wasn't until recently I started saying to myself, that's enough work for today. And that's a trap I get caught in because I
Mm,
work for myself. And so there is always something to do. There is always more work to do. There are always things I can be doing. There are always ways I can improve myself as a person and a business owner. But sometimes you just have to say, that's enough for today. Close the
mhm,
computer, and I'm going to make the choice to do something enjoyable.
mm.
I do enjoy my work. That's the other problem sometimes. But
Ditto. And I think that's also there's always more, you know? I think it's
yeah,
even more important, this topic as well, as we come into we all know the silly season, because for everybody, I think no matter the space that you're in, it does create more things.
yep,
Work deadlines become closer because it's the end of the year,
yep,
whether it be like more social events, whether it be like the stress around Christmas and gifts. And like we don't do gifts, we do a bit of like a Kris Kringle thing in our house because we don't do presents and stuff. It's too stressful. And I don't like consumerism, but I understand that's not everybody's forte. And I'm not, again, no judgment, but it creates stress. You know, like if you've got to buy gifts for everybody, then you've got to make the time to go and do that. You've got to think about what you're going to get people and stuff. Great. All good things, but I think it's just really important, particularly as we come into that season, to be more mindful about doing things that we love. For some people, though, the present thing, that is something that they love. That is a love language. So I get
yes,
that too. You know, so if that is your love language, maybe that is your fun activity. For me, I dreaded stress, absolute stress. Could not think of anything worse. Don't buy me a present, anybody. That's fine. I'm happy not to have presents. Come give me a hug. That's fine. But if you love that, maybe that's a fun activity for you that you could incorporate into and not focus on the work deadlines.
I'm gonna have like 6 massive boxes shipped to you just so that you have more to pack and move, and then you feel like you've been gifted things. I won't actually do that, Sal. That sounds like really
That sounds like fair. Okay, that sounds like a lot of stress for you. A high financial cost as well. That sounds like a lot of cost.
I have so much fun buying things for people. It, like, takes everything for me to not buy the things for
See?
people
So
regularly.
that's the thing that like makes you so happy, and that's so good. Like I think
Yeah.
that's amazing. But for me, I'm like, oh my God, that is so
I
stressful.
mean,
This is
I'm
not
gonna
my love language.
I'm buying my niece an advent calendar. She is not old enough to
Oh,
know what an advent
no.
calendar is. She is not old enough to appreciate it, but I am so dang excited to share that with
Oh,
her.
oh, you're so cute. That's
It's
so
little
funny.
rattles and teethers, so it's perfect. Every day a different rattle or teether for her. I'm so pumped.
Okay, so if you're like Katie and you love gift giving, please go to town and do that. And don't focus too much on work deadlines and don't focus too much on places you have to be into the silly season. If you're like me, please don't stress about buying gifts and making time because it's always the thought that counts. If you are gift giving family, that's all that matters. And maybe
Man,
you could focus a little bit more deadlines.
I could talk on gifts for a hot minute, and I'm just gonna say one little thing about it real quick.
Please.
Give a gift for the sake of giving a gift, not with
Yes.
the expectation of a response or a return or a thank you or anything else. You give a
Yes.
gift because it makes you feel good. Nothing else should be needed beyond that. That's my one silly season little thing. Just putting it out there. Don't give a gift unless it gives you joy. Expect nothing in
100%.
return. The end.
100%.
So,
And I think I know our topic for next week
ooh. Okay.
because we've just spoken a little bit on love languages. I think we should talk about love languages so we can look forward to that.
Ooh. Talk about love languages.
Love languages. I think that's
That's
cute.
a
But today I think is good. I wanted to keep it pretty short. I wanted to just hone in because fun, we need to create space for fun, something that I am really trying to work on at the moment. So this will be an episode for me on repeat,
proud of
which is
you.
great.
Proud of you, Sal. And I can't wait to hear how the game goes. Like, I need final scores or points or something.
Okay. At the beginning of next episode, I shall update you on how we went, introducing fun activities.
I mean, Nathan's out playing board games 3 days a week with people, so it's just part of our lives here.
I need
You
that in
just
my life.
happened to get the one for your birthday that we don't actually have. Of the 500 games that we have, that's not one of them. So I need a
Highly
full review.
recommend.
Cool. Great.
Oh, I've played it. We've played it. It's very fun. We played it on my birthday and the day after.
Now you
But I
just need
haven't
to do
played it since.
the other fun things. We need to make a habit of having fun.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, go
On
have
that
fun,
note,
Sal.
I'm going to go have fun.
Excellent. I sort of me too. Yay.
Yay, great.
Woohoo!
Thanks, guys. See you next
All
week.
right. Chat soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.